King Charles III will lead the royal family in guiding Queen Elizabeth's coffin from the royal residence at Buckingham Palace to Westminster Hall. The new monarch, 73, will lead his siblings and close family members for the procession of the coffin through the capital on Wednesday. The Queen's coffin was flown from Edinburgh Airport to RAF Northolt on Tuesday evening, accompanied by the Princess Royal. Princess Anne, 72, was the only one of the late monarch's children to fly down to West London with the coffin following a lying-in-state period in Edinburgh. The King, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew and Prince Edward performed the traditional Vigil of the Princes at St Giles Cathedral, before the coffin was transferred to England. On Tuesday night, the coffin arrived at Buckingham Palace, and was taken to the bow room of the emblematic royal residence. King Charles will lead his siblings and close family members for the procession of the coffin. Image, Getty. The doors of Westminster Hall open 24 hours a day. Image, Getty. You could hear a pin drop. Queen's coffin arrives at Buckingham Palace in the shadow of Buckingham Palace, under a sea of umbrellas. I stood alongside thousands of mourners who gathered to pay their respects to the late Queen, writes Emily Brager. Read more about the late Queen Elizabeth II's final journey here. But on Wednesday, the coffin will be taken from the palace to Westminster Hall, where it will begin another lying-in-state period. Members of the public will be able to pay their respects to the Queen for a 4-day window ahead of the late monarch's funeral on Monday, September 19. Hundreds of mourners gathered at Buckingham Palace on Wednesday morning, as well as queues stretching through central London in anticipation of the Queen's arrival in Westminster. Walking behind the procession of the Queen's coffin will be the King, the Duke of York, 62, Princess Anne, the Earl of Wessex, and the new Prince of Wales. Read more. William, Kate, Harry and Meghan unite for intimate royal gathering. The queue to file past the Queen's coffin on Wednesday morning. Image, PA. Prince William, 40, will be accompanied by his brother, Prince Harry, and Princess Anne's son, Peter Phillips. Also following the procession will be the Princess Royal's husband, Vice Admiral Sir Tim Lawrence, the Duke of Gloucester and the Earl of Snowdon. Following by car will be Camilla, Queen Consort, Kate, Princess of Wales, with the Countess of Wessex and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Other members of the royal family not featuring in the procession are expected to await its arrival at Westminster at around 3 p.m. Members of the public will be able to view the royal procession at various points throughout the route, including at the Mall, Horse Guards, Whitehall, and Parliament Square. Queues of up to 35 hours are expected. Image, PA. Huge queues have already formed to see the Queen lying in state, with many having already queued through the night for the opening time of 5 p.m. on Wednesday. Around 750,000 people are predicted to view the late Queen's coffin at Westminster Hall, with warnings of up to 35-hour queues. But this has not deterred some royal mourners, with one mother and daughter catching the midnight coach from Middlesbrough to arrive for 8 a.m. on Wednesday. Joyce Dawson recounted how she told her 26-year-old daughter, "We have to go to London tonight. Don't miss." Sophie Wessex expected to become the new Duchess of Edinburgh. Analysis. William motioned to Meghan spotted in very poignant moment. Report, poll, should anti-monarchists be allowed to protest during mourning? Vote, Princess Anne accompanied the coffin to London. Image, Getty. She told the PA news agency, "It's just nice to be a part of this. It's exciting, I'm dead excited, I'm like a little kid." A screen will project the procession to an audience at Hyde Park. Once the coffin arrives at Westminster Hall, a 20-minute service will be held by the Archbishop of Canterbury and the Dean of Westminster. The Queen's coffin will sit on a platform, known as a catafalque, in Westminster Hall, allowing royal mourners to file past throughout the rest of the week. The Duke of York will follow King Charles in the procession. Image, Reuters. The lying in state period will begin at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, with the doors of Westminster Hall open 24 hours a day until the end of the window. Public viewing of the Queen's closed coffin will end at 6:30 a.m. on Monday, September 19. The Department for Digital, Culture, Media and Sport issued updated guidance for very long queues facing those wishing to visit the Queen during the lying in state period. It warned royal mourners, "You will need to stand for many hours, possibly overnight, with very little opportunity to sit down as the queue will be continuously moving." Trending earlier on Wednesday, European Commission President, Ursula von der Leyen, paid tribute to the late sovereign, hailing the Queen as a legend who was a constant throughout turbulent and transforming events in the last 70 years. She said during an address in Strasbourg, "As we look around at the state of the world today, it can often feel like there is a fading away of what once seemed so permanent. In some ways the passing of Queen Elizabeth II last week reminded us all of that. She is a legend. She was a constant throughout turbulent and transforming events in the last 70 years, stoic and steadfast in her service. But, more than everything, she always found the right words for every moment in time."